Hey, are you happy, or will you be when, oh, you get a new job, maybe you get hitched, lose 15 pounds? There's always something that could make you happy.
Always something that you're waiting on, it seems like. Well, more and more people are suffering from a syndrome only they can cure. The I'll be happy when syndrome. And clinical psychologist Dr. Natalia Peart is here to help us banish it. Good morning.
Oh, good morning to you both. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, we're glad you're here.
Yes.
Okay, so where do we get started? How do we overcome this syndrome?
That's right. So the I'll be happy when syndrome, as you said, it's always out there in the future. So the first thing we need to know is that success, it is a lifestyle. It's not a destination out there in the future. We've got to think about that as being something that we understand right now.
All right, and things have changed with careers, with everything, right? And we have to accept that.
That's right.
And realize that things for us just aren't like they were for our parents or our grandparents. And that's okay, right?
That's right. That's a really great point, because the way we used to think about success, and I always think about it now, is it's on permanent detour, right? Because it was, you grew up, you thought about one steady career, a job, and then you sort of climbed the ladder. There was this steady progression that you hoped for. Success was supposed to lead to happy, happy was supposed to lead to fulfillment. We're not there anymore. Our lives are in constant change and upheaval. We've got to now understand, how do you make that work for you every single day?
And lives are so frenetic too, and filled with a lot of anxiety, whether it's politics that's causing that or social media. I mean, has this problem really grown?
That's right. It's such a great point. Stress and anxiety is something that we talk about now all the time. And it's not just as adults. Unfortunately, it's now also high school and it's college. So now it's kind of like the backdrop of our lives. So we've got to figure out, how do we not just inhale all of what is happening around us? How do we bring the good, the things that matter to us, deeper relationships and engagements and all the things that we're looking for, you know, that just make us happy right now?
So how do we do that? What else do we do to make it happen? How do you live in the now and not in the future and what ifs?
Exactly. So let's think about it this way. The very first thing you want to do is get rid of the checklist.
Okay, that's the, I need to get married here, I need to have babies here, I need to have this car when
And I
I'm this
won't be
age.
happy until I get there.
Yeah.
That's right, because what we say is, not only can I not be happy, but once we get there, you know what happens?
You want something else, and you're
there
living.
you go.
So
We've
then
all been there, right?
The kid is, you're not getting any sleep, so you can't wait until they get into school. But when they get in school, you miss them. So then you want the
Right. Then you want the bigger house. Oh, you know what? I'm going to then I need this. It never ends.
You're not enjoying the journey.
You're never enjoying the journey. Get rid of that checklist. You know what? Checklists are for your groceries. It's not for the most important thing called your life. What you do is integrate the bigger things that you understand success to be, and do it now.
All right, that's number one. What about number two?
Redefine success completely. It's not only about this, then that, and my career. What we really need to be thinking about is, what makes us more fulfilled today? What about the better relationships? We want to now have better experiences in our life. What's fun? What's joy? Maybe you want to have more impact. Bring those things, a bigger definition of success, not that sort of narrow, I'm only successful if my career is successful.
Yeah. And then finally, you want to set your priorities and stick to those.
That's exactly right. You know what always gets pushed off of our too busy list?
What's that?
Us. We always push ourselves. Oh, we're not as important as all the things that we need to do to keep all the trains running in our life, right? So instead, make yourself a priority. Make yourself accountable. Do you have groups? Do you have people who you say, you know what, let's work on this together? So it's no longer a checklist. You're building habits for success and happiness.
And when you have a good friend along beside you, or a colleague, or whoever it might be, they can keep you in balance and remind you, perhaps, if you're getting off and wishing too much for the future, right?
They can keep you on the path and really motivate each other to say, you know what, we've really worked hard over here. Where's the play? And we shouldn't feel guilty about it.
Right. Well, all right. Well, here's to focusing on relationships, living in the now. I love what you had to say.
Oh,
Thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure.
Good information.